Okay.
A few questions to start us off. Number one, what is your favorite non-gym YouTube channel?
Oh boy, can it be workout related or no?
And just for the listeners, I didn't give them any heads up.
No.
So, non-gym.
So like
Okay,
no
all
work.
right. Actually, let's break it up into two.
Okay.
You can do one workout related and then one non-workout related.
Okay. I'm doing some research right now. I'm getting on my YouTube. I'm looking at my channels because I'm not a big
Research.
subscriber person. I'm very much like a click the random thing. I'll tell you the one I just finished. I'm not saying it's my favorite, but I do like watching like ultra marathon documentaries. So gym related. I just finished Cam Haynes' Cocodona 250 documentary. So I like that. Just like going in the background, you don't really have to watch like every minute of it. It's just like them vlogging and going through an ultra and like, you know, talking about it after the fact. Non-gym related. That's hard. It's probably we're getting into football season, and so I don't sit down and watch a lot of full games unless I'm a fan of a team that's playing. So I'll just watch the recaps the next day, and I watch a lot of them. I guess that's non-gym related. Does that count?
Yeah. Is there a specific channel that does that?
I'll just type in the game.
Just
It's like, hey, I
whatever.
wonder, I
Oh,
wonder to
got
this.
it.
A lot of times, just like a Big Ten network will run all the Big Ten ones. I guess. Who does that? That's a good question.
I will say I use TikTok.
TikTok. See, I've never had a
TikTok's
TikTok.
pretty good for that.
I've noticed that I'm very much an addict when it comes to like screens and stuff like that. So I try to like whatever give myself barriers. So TikTok, I feel like wouldn't be an unhealthy ad for me.
Oh, dude, it's
ESPN runs this a lot of like the college ones. Yeah,
okay.
and
Um,
I do like I like random like I do not follow CrossFit or do CrossFit, but I like CrossFit channels for some reason. I don't know. Do you watch a
gotcha.
lot of those, or is that just me?
No, I don't watch a lot of those, but I will if I'm like not feeling a run or something.
Yeah.
I'll do TikTok and I'll do running motivation or workout motivation.
Okay, you ready for this? And I told you like I have a problem with screens. I put the kids down, and then afterwards my wife works nights. Okay, you know this, but if you're listening, I put the kids down. It's like okay, it's time to go work out. I was like I'll just like scroll for a second. 30 minutes later, and sometimes like recently I've like skipped a workout because it gets too late, and I'm just sitting there scrolling like nonsense. And so I delete like all the apps off my phone, and it's bad. So
Got it. Yep, I knew that. All right. Who's your favorite fitness influencer? Who motivates you
um,
the most?
I like a lot of the old Nick Bear stuff. Um, some of the new stuff, I don't know if it's just like same o, or like I just don't care about triathlons. I'm not into them very much right now, but he used to be like the one I watched. Um, Now fitness influencer, it's random people. Again, I don't subscribe to very many people, so I just like if you recommend it and it looks like a video style, I give it like 2 minutes and I'll either change it or I'll keep it going. But it'll be like a random like maybe a Justin Medeiros like video. And again, I don't CrossFit at all, so it's like totally random. Um, or some ultra runner who's just finished a big race. I like Truett Haynes and Cam Haynes. They're fun to watch, but they don't their videos aren't always the most entertaining. So, but I guess I have to go Nick Bear because I watch a lot of his stuff.
All right. And then give me your favorite big booth from Home Gym Con and your favorite small booth from Home Gym Con.
That's a good question. Again, we didn't talk live with listeners about our personal home gym con experience. So you know this. Listeners might or might not. I threw out my back in my summer job like the day I was supposed to be driving down to home gym con. And so if you saw me like moving pretty good, it's because I was on muscle relaxers and like I just had like a Toradol shot like the week rolling in. And so I wasn't feeling very good, so I didn't get to play with a lot of stuff. Um, that being said, what size booth do you consider X Master?
Consider them large.
Okay, they stuck out. Their stuff was awesome. a lot of people go ATX for good reason, like that standing chest press, and like they just have super cool stuff. But if I wanted to say something different, I'm gonna go X Master. It's not that different because a lot of people said that, but just that shiny chrome was pretty sweet. And favorite small booth, I like Darko's booth. He had a really good spot, and he put all his stuff on a single rack, and I just like interacting. He's a cool guy, so Darko or Black Widow, I guess, would be considered a smallish booth. I like talking to Dean and seeing all his colorways every year, like that black cherry was awesome. So those are my answers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we also have some survey results. Before that, I'll just do a quick Home Gym Con announcement plug. No real new updates other than for any of the potential vendors listening to this, the price of the booth does go up $75 per 100 square feet on October 1st. We're going to start choosing spots around that time as well. So now would be the time to sign up. I don't think we've had more than like a couple in the last month sign up. Anyways, let's get on to those survey results. We can go through these quick too.
Hey, do you see what shirt I'm wearing? The Do-It-Yourself Bro shirt.
Do it yourself?
Yeah, it's Kaizen's shirt.
Is that his?
Yeah. Remember Christmas? Anyway, I'll turn around.
Oh,
this
I
one.
can't really.
It's the drill. The Do-It-Yourself one.
Oh, that shirt. I never got that shirt.
And I was going through Menards, wearing the shirt, and I was like, this is freaking perfect, man. I'm wearing a DIY shirt walking through Menards. Who's the man? That was awesome. Shout out.
I never got that shirt. I was supposed to get one of those.
This one was yours, and you gave it to me. But
I know.
Go.
I know. Anyways, survey results. Approximately how much space is your home gym? You could choose between 100 square feet, 200 square feet, 300 square feet, and 400 square feet or more. Very well spread out. As you can see, the most popular answer was 200 square feet. So most likely a one portion of or just a one stall garage, or like that size of a garage. And then to sum it all up, or just something important to keep in mind is, you see all of these huge home gyms on Instagram. It's not necessarily the case, because about 53% do have 100 square feet or 200 square feet, which makes a big difference in what you're buying for your home gym versus maybe like a 400 square foot home gym or more. How much did this change year over year? The only huge change, not even huge, but we did see about a 3% uptick in those with 400 square feet or more. So like a 20 by 20 size space. We also ask, where is your home gym, garage, basement, other room in the house, or shed, outdoors, etc. The garage was the easy number one answer. The basement was the easy two answer. That makes up a combined like 87%. So how did that change from year over year? We saw an increase in both garage and basement by either percentage or 2%. So they're dominant, and they received even more votes this year compared to last year. All right, next up, approximately how tall is your home gym ceiling? So 7 feet or less, 8 feet, 9 feet, 10 feet or higher. The bulk is going to be between 8 and 9 feet. So 36% voted 8 feet, 29% voted 9 feet. Only about 11% have 7 feet or less, and then about 24% are blessed with 10 feet or higher. Next, is your primary rack currently too busy or too full? About 30% are dealing with a rack that is too full. I would say if you look behind me, my primary rack, I'm dealing with a rack that's a little bit too full. I'd love to spread it out a little bit more. How did that change from last year? Only about 24.5% voted that it was too full last year. This year, about 30%, as previously mentioned. That is a 5.65% 8% change upward. So we're seeing more racks that are too full. Another repeat question from last year: would you put a specialty machine in your home gym? 74% say yes, only 26% say no. How did that change from last year? The amount saying yes is up about 4%, so 70% voted that way last year. And then we also asked, how many specialty machines would you add to your current home gym space in an ideal world? So when I ask this question, I kind of think like budget isn't really part of the question. It's more like in an ideal world, this is what I plan to get to. And then that, I think that explains the difference in like the last question. So only 11% say 0, 19% say 1, 38% say 2 specialty machines in their home gym. That was the most popular answer. And then 31% want 3 or more specialty machines in their home gym space in an ideal world. How did that compare to last year? You can see in red, we have less votes for 0 and 1, more votes for 2 and 3 or more. That is the data, all related to kind of space and what you can fit in your home gym.
We've asked this question before. I'm going to re-ask it because I don't remember the answer. What are you considering a specialty machine? Is it a functional trainer and like a lat pull down machine? Or is it like specifically like for movements, like a preacher curl machine, or like how do you define?
Yeah, I think all the above you mentioned, anything outside of like a power rack that isn't like cardio. So like functional trainer, lat pull down, low row, single column trainer. I would say like the quantum trainer you mentioned would be a specialty machine, leg curl, leg extension. So the way I think about it is, you have your power rack. What do you want to build around your power? And most people want at least a few.
It's got 3 right now. And you have at least 3. I mean, especially.
Yeah, I've got like 5 or 6.
Yeah, Force USA is like functional trainer, Smith machine.
Yep. So, I mean, this to us comes as no surprise, but I think it's just a reminder to all of the companies listening that this is not just a trend. A lot of people do want to build their home gyms with at least some machines. And then I think the big one is the space one at the beginning. So a lot of times you hear or you see a lot of really amazing huge home gyms, but that's not necessarily the norm. And a lot of these companies have opportunities to continue to innovate within tight spaces, and I don't see that trend ever really changing. Any other surprises or questions about the data?
I was surprised about the size of the home gyms. Like you said, you see all the big ones, but a bulk of it is in like the 100, 200 square feet. I always measure my gym by how many horse stall mats, but you could do square footage too if you want. It's fine.
Yeah, but like a 10 by 10, that's not much space, and it really does. Yeah, it requires a lot of creativity or like really versatile pieces of equipment to make it close to a full gym.
Well, and you've been in my gym, and it's small, but it's also about 350 square feet. And that's not I wouldn't say it's a ton of room either.
Right, and the fact that only like 20-something% have that around that space is
correct.
Yeah.
That one surprised me. Yeah. Some people operating in 7-foot ceilings or less. That was a little surprising as well. I'm at 8. I think I'm 8. No, I'm 7 foot as well. So no, that's me.
Yeah, you're about 7 foot.
I have low ceilings. Yeah. Sorry, I had to do the conversion inches to feet there. Mm-hmm. I got it. So that's not very surprising. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then, yeah, it's a good reminder. It'll be a good one to follow along. It feels
foundational,
It's one of the more foundational ones based off of recent trends. And And then speaking of trends, I've also whipped up some upcoming some potential upcoming trends in the home gym space. So this is based off of just my observations. A lot of these come to me as I'm working out in my home gym, and it just feels like they make sense. So the first one I have here is I see a world where shorter barbells and shorter specialty barbells and thinner plates become more of the norm, especially thinking about how many people have 100 or 200 square foot gyms. So the shorter barbells are easier to maneuver in tight spaces. They also have the potential to be easier to store. And then I've also had, I've had some bulky specialty barbells that I just didn't find myself using as much because I didn't want to move them around. So I do see an opportunity for more people to, like, as they start a home gym, just start with a shorter barbell or shorter specialty barbells. I also had like the Rep Trap open trap bar and then the Fringe Midas open trap bar, and I found myself using the Fringe Midas open trap bar even more because it was just easier to grab and I wasn't like loading it up to the max to begin with. And that brings me to my next point. Most average home gym owners are not maxing out the sleeves anyways, unless they're using bulky bumper plates. And then I do think like one thing that I've noticed specifically with using weighted out plates is, the thinner plates help solve a few different problems within the home gym, not even thinking about like the feel of everything. So some people like the thinner plates because they're in tighter. I don't even really think about that. I think they allow for more weight to fill up on maybe a shorter sleeve barbell. And then they also take up less storage. So it's nice to be able to get all of your plates within one section as opposed to breaking them out into different sections of your gym with like the shorter. For example, like these weighted out plates, you can stack a bunch onto one different storage pen. So that's a trend I wouldn't be surprised seeing in the future. Number 2, even more cardio machines in home gyms. And for this, I think more about like general population. One thing that I keep seeing on social media when you go outside of the home gym world, the home gym equipment snob world, is heart health is just a very important priority. And there's all these studies about how X amount of cardio can help reduce the age of your heart or whatever, or just improve your cardiovascular health and ultimately help you live longer. And that's something that I think speaks to a lot more of the general population, and it's why people want to initially get started with like a home gym or just going to the gym in general. So I think cardio machines within a home gym allow you to do cardio, not only just like easy access to cardio, but when the weather is not nice, you can always do like get on the treadmill, get on the air bike, and do that sort of cardio. And then also like there's a lot of parents out there who, you can't necessarily leave the house for an extended period of time. So I think it just makes sense for a lot of people to have a piece of cardio equipment. And then also I think a lot of companies have started creating like easier to fold or even more compact, or they have rollers so it's easy to move around. So that's one thing that I think we'll see even more people. A lot of like the guys might start out with a power rack in their home gym and some dumbbells, but then eventually add some sort of cardio. And I'm seeing a lot more Peloton content out recently as well. So that's another one that I see becoming even more of a trend. Number 3, I find myself using the landmine attachment which used to be a really big staple with a lot of the home gyms, much less often than I used to. Honestly, like if I do it each month, it's that's kind of a surprise. I think for me, anything with setup usually just doesn't happen, especially if I have an alternative, which is like a strength machine or some sort of pulley system that I can replicate, not necessarily the movements, but hit that certain part of the body as well. So landmines, I think we'll continue to see them not be as popular. Number four, I think I'm going to call this one unconventional free weight systems. So I do think free weight systems are still like the most cost effective way to build out a home gym. They're, just like basic dumbbells, kettlebells. They're not necessarily cheap, but they will last forever. And then they're very, very versatile. So I think as more education comes out and more people know what to do, they're going to continue using free weight options. But that said, I think as more people get their hands on maybe items like the Havoc Triads or the Power Bells at like events like Home Gym Con, I think the word can spread more. And it really is nice to have some sort of alternative to just a basic dumbbell or basic kettlebell. And I can see that being an addition to a lot of people's home gyms before maybe even a cable system, especially if they you can load them with different plates. So I do think I have felt them at events like Home Gym Con, and those could be cool alternatives that I see more people adding in the future. Was this number 4 or is this number 5? Number 5. I think one thing that I've noticed is a lot more apartment friendly gym equipment. So I think the Vultra is very apartment friendly. Anchor, you could technically say tonal. I think the vast amount of adjustable dumbbells, adjustable kettlebells, foldable benches, those sorts of things, we're starting to see more people start kind of building out like a corner gym in their apartments. And I think that's going to lead to a lot more home gyms in the future, because not only do people get a taste of how easy it is to start a home gym or to build out a home gym, but they already have a start. Like they're adding these things into their apartment to do every once in a while, and it's ultimately going to carry on into more home gyms. And then last one, I think might be kind of obvious, but I think collecting barbells is no longer as hot as it will be in the future. It's going to be collecting attachments. So with more pulley systems, more people making really refined attachments, we're seeing a lot of innovation in the attachments world. Slowly but surely, there's just a lot of really cool options. The last few years, I've really started building out my attachments, and that's kind of like where my eye's at. Like, what attachment do I want to add next? It's not necessarily as bulky as a barbell. It provides a ton of versatility, and they're not as expensive. So you can maybe pick up like a $70, $80 attachment that it kind of like feeds the itch to add to your home gym more often than like a $300, $400 barbell. So those are 6, trying to call them like non-obvious trends that I think we'll continue to see within the home gym space.
Yeah, I have some comments, some that I agree with. I think there's only one where I'm like, not really for me. Do I see that as well? But definitely agree with barbell collecting. I think right when we got into the home gym scene, like everyone had these like sweet walls filled with barbells. And I thought, oh man, that looks cool. I want to collect barbells. But then when I had like 2 straight bars, I'd only use one. So I never got into it. Like I have a daily driver and that's it. And then you got so many barbells just from like the review game, and then you've really like, again, just like thinned out. I mean, how many barbells would you say you have? Do you still have a lot?
I have like 8 or 9.
8 or 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we used to have like 40 barbells
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also found myself like filling the wall with other stuff as opposed to barbells, because those really did take up quite a bit of wall space to store as well.
Yeah. So I agree with you there. One that you really hit the nail on the head on was the piece of cardio machine, like the importance of that, like heart health and stuff. We're aging, so maybe there's some young bucks listening to us thinking like, guys, grow up. But I couldn't agree more, especially like with having kids and stuff and like wanting to do cardio. It's been so like a game changer. So that's been great. I agree with the thin plates. The one thing you got me on was the shorter barbells. And I don't know if you meant shorter as in like won't fit in a rack. Is that what you were?
No, more just
sleeves.
like shorter sleeves. They would still be rackable. Still rackable.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think people would be turned off by the fact that they'd have like a shorter sleeve. But what you did say was like these like big bulky specialty bars, you just don't take them out as much. And I was like, yeah. So maybe some less cumbersome specialty bars is what I'm more on board on. I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying I differ with you there. What helped me, having the Mars bar, I used to have it on some bike hooks over next to my gun rack, barbell gun rack. I don't have an actual gun rack. But just even like taking it from there and getting it in the rack, I just wouldn't do. And so Darko sent me a set of anchors, and I thought, I'm not going to really use those because I have an 80-inch rack. It's going to be like hanging down in my face. But that made it so like I use the Mars bar every time I squat now because I can just take it off and put it right on the J hooks. So yeah, big cumbersome specialty bars. If you don't have like a easy way that like reduces friction, you just don't use them as much. So I definitely see that side of it. I liked your list though.
Cool. Yeah, just whipped that up right before the call. If you guys have any thoughts, let us know. If you disagree, let us know.
Did you see the comments from our last YouTube video?
I meant to bring that up.
What a bunch of sweethearts, man. Guys, Mike didn't replace me. They're doing a different show.
It's a different show.
Yeah. I thought that was, I was kind of thinking like, I bet you people think Mike replaced me.
I didn't even think about that.
But the absence is one due to I'm a teacher and like my summer job, like I'm out on the road. It's just hard to find time. 2, we went into Home Gym Con and just we would check in like, hey, should we do a show? Should we do a show? And we were just so consumed with like getting name badges ready and like contacting vendors and all that. And then like, you had the build up to Home Gym Con, and then you had like the after effect where you just have to like breathe for a little bit. So we didn't do a show for a while. And then I'm back to school, getting school started again. So yeah, I really have been absent all summer. So
and we did do a follow-up Home Gym Con podcast, but we decided not to post it because it was basically what everyone else was saying.
What everyone else is saying, yeah.
Yeah.
But it felt nice to be missed. So thanks.
Yeah, it was missed, and I did mess up, and I scheduled it for like 2 days later. But I accidentally scheduled it for midnight. So it released at midnight instead of like 10 a.m., which definitely hurt the view counts.
Well, we're back to regular schedule now. They'll get their fill. But people said they missed me, and whether you're just being nice or you meant it, I felt it right there.
There were a lot of I miss Adam comments. Yeah.
And Porter, happy back to school week to you too, man. Teachers out there, guys. One heck of a summer. We'll do it again next year. Back to work, I guess. So, all right.
All right. Well, keep us motivated to keep doing this each week.
Hey, Jake's running a race too, so root on Jake in a race. So, go Jake. He loves to talk about himself, so I figured I'd do it for you.
Yeah.
All right.
All righty.
All right. Don't cut that.
I won't.
All right.